Welcome back to Ask the Lender. Do you know there's a difference between being pre-qualified and being pre-approved when looking for a home? Craig, can you share some insight on these?
I call it variations of a pre-approval. We in the industry blanket them kind of with the same terminology of pre-approval. We don't necessarily do the job that we need to clarify. So I appreciate you asking the question, because in the levels, the first level really is maybe a client would call a loan officer and maybe share, what their income is, maybe how much money that they have, and then give them what they think their credit score might be. And can that happen? It can, but by definition, is that necessarily a pre-approval? Personally, on a professional level, I don't think so. That's really taking a guess, but that is very common in our industry today. The second level of that would be to have that conversation, and the information is shared again, income and assets and what their credit score might be. But then the loan officer says, man, I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Let me have you send me your income documentation. Let me have you send me your assets. So bank statements, retirement accounts, those types of things. And then let's run your credit report and let's take a look at your credit. As kind of an asterisk or side note, when it comes to running credit, I get asked this often, and it's a great question to ask, because there is a difference between what is known as a hard pull and a soft pull, for sure. And I do soft pulls to begin with. And what a soft pull simply means is it does not impact your credit score at all. So there's no credit score hurt going on that would cause that score to go down whatsoever. But I would also share that when we do pull a hard pull credit report, and this is where, unfortunately, once again, lenders not necessarily doing a very good job of communicating, because unfortunately, we're going to scare you not to running your credit again.
Right.
Which is just very unprofessional. So when you go and get a hard pull credit score, and I tell clients all the time, Google me on this, fact check me, please. Totally fine. It is only going to lower your score if it does. So it's not a guarantee. But if your score changes because of a hard pull, it only changes 5 points. So it's not like, death defying, right? I've never, 29 years, been blessed to do this. I've never had a hard pull, not have somebody qualify for a home loan, but have come across many clients that have, please don't pull my credit. The lender that I was speaking to told me not to pull my credit ever again. The next time I pull my credit, I have to pull it with the lender that I'm going to go with. And lenders have scared them just ridiculously. So that 5 point will not change. And on top of that, the bureaus know that you're going to possibly shop, which is, again, great thing to do. Go shop, maybe have your credit pulled a few times.
Yeah.
So the only time that they count that 5 points is one time in a 30-day window. So you can pull your credit as many times on a hard pull once you pull it during a 30-day window, and it doesn't impact you at all. So just as a side note that went a little long, I think that's something that you and I are both trying to characteristically change the dynamic of what people know when it comes to buying and selling real estate, and take out all the myths, right, that go with it. And this is definitely one of the great myths out there, that you should only pull your credit one time, and that's got to be the lender that you're going to use, and don't do it ever again. No. Don't pay attention to that.
Clarification that as long as you do it within the time window of a month, that it's not going to impact you any worse than just doing it once is very reassuring.
Yes, sir. And the impact is 5 points.
Yeah.
So
it's not much.
If 5 points is going to not allow you to buy a home, we're going to have other issues besides your 5 point reduced credit score. I will tell you that. So yeah, pull your credit. Just get the real numbers. But we do start with a soft pull for sure. And then on that second type of pre-approval, so now we've got documents. Now the loan officer can see what, your income is. They can see what your assets are. Obviously, we've pulled credit. So we can begin to, discern what that looks like and start to plug that into the different loan products that might be available for you to take a look at and possibly use. But the loan officer is the only one who's done it at that point in time. So as this is, again, something that people don't know, the loan officer does not have the authority to approve a loan.
Right.
Now, it may be thought of, well, you're a loan officer. You should know whether a loan is going to be approved or not. Absolutely. I agree with that. But we still don't have the authority to do it. So the great thing is, specifically here at Canopy, we do have the ability to turn that loan in to our underwriting team and let them fully underwrite the loan. And that's what you see up there is a approval. That's what I like to call it, because we have taken this client and put them through the full underwriting process. As you can see, it reads there in the paragraph, we are pleased to confirm that your loan has been pre-approved by our underwriting staff. That's where the solid gold happens, because the underwriter now has signed off on their income, credit, and assets.
There's no guessing. It's fully approved.
Fully approved based on those three major factors. The only two things that we're missing is appraisal and title. That's it. And we're good to go. And that's why when you go out and you write an offer for a client, we can do 0 days for financial contingency. We've already passed that bar. We're done. So, think of it as well. You've got a home listed. I call you as the loan officer for the buyer, and I get to tell you, Caleb, hey, our client has already been underwritten by the underwriter. As you may have noticed, there's 0 days for financial contingency. I don't need any. I would say 90% of the agents that I'm blessed to have that conversation with, oh my gosh, I had no idea that existed. Totally great. I mean, I love to hear that, because that allows us to do our job the right way, right? Yeah. And then allows you as a buyer's agent, if you're on the buyer side, to be an advocate for the buyer. Same thing though on the seller side, because then you could take that offer to your seller and go, look, I know we have these two other offers and they have pre-approval letters with them, but I physically spoke to this loan officer, Craig Johnson, and he's got a fully underwritten approval. The only thing we need to close is the appraisal and title. And he even shared that they can close in 10 days. And then let them obviously make the decision what's best. But what a difference in different offers, right? That's always not only the goal, but it's the expectation. When you and I are blessed to work with either a buyer or a seller, we don't only meet, but we exceed the expectation so that they can walk away and go, man, that was incredible. Again, that Ritz-Carlton experience. Great question. I hope that answers that question of the depth of what a underwritten approval is versus just a conversation. Hey, this is my payment. Hey, this is my income. Okay, I'll get you a letter. Eek. Don't take that letter seriously. But too often people think just because it's been written, it's truth. You got to watch that, especially on the seller side for sure. And God forbid if you're a buyer and you were to find out 2 weeks into the transaction that all of a sudden, your income doesn't match. So we're going to have to do a deeper dive. If we have them fully approved, we've already done the legwork. We're done. We've completed it. We've gotten all the verifications. We've done all that and we're ready to go. So
having the full investigation is very reassuring to both sides.
Yes, 100%. It's the expectation of what you and I do, not just the goal.
Thanks, Craig, for joining me on this series and sharing how getting pre-approved helps strengthen your offer on a home. Looking forward to sharing more to help future home buyers start their home buying journey with confidence. If you're looking to start your real estate journey, reach out and let's make your dream home a reality.